Hello, my name is Martin, and this video is about meditation. Hi, welcome to my channel. I've been meditating for some time now. It's benefited me immensely. So I'm making a video to demystify a little bit and to hopefully make it more accessible for people so they can give it a go for themselves. The short answer of what meditation is being gently focused on the present moment with huge emphasis on gently. The long answer of what meditation is being in a state of being, being in a state of being. So the way I like to describe that is, imagine you're home alone and your favorite song comes on and you start dancing and feeling good and dancing like no one's watching, you know? And you feel great. That would be a state of being. You're being in the moment, you're savoring the moment. As distinction, if you decided, if you were in a bad mood and said, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna start moving and so I feel better, that would be a state of doing rather than a state of being, because you are doing something to get somewhere. Why would people want to be in a state of being? After all, that's not how our goals are achieved. Well, throughout the majority of our lives, we are in a state of doing. We are traveling to work. We are at work, we're watching a video. We are going shopping. And it feels good to balance all that go-getterness with simply savoring the moment. And people report being calmer and more focused as a result of meditation. In most cases, the reason people start off meditating is because they want to live happier, more joyful lives. But for some, the prospect of achieving enlightenment is what motivates them. For me, enlightenment is composed of two things: the unification of the mind and the loss of self. According to the mind model described by John Yates, the mind is composed of several subminds. These are mental processes that are going on. Each of these processes has sub-processes, sub-minds of their own. And each of those minds strives to do what's best for us. However, their ideas of what's best for us sometimes differ. For example, one sub-mind might want me to eat ice cream right now because it feels good and it tastes good and it's cold outside, or it's hot outside. However, a different sub-mind might say, hey, you're on a diet, you're trying to limit your calories, maybe eating ice cream right now is not the best idea. And you see how they're pulling in different directions. This creates mental friction. An analogy used in the book is a herd of horses, each tied to a metal ring. Each of those horses are pulling in different directions. Eventually, this herd of horses tied to a ring is going to start moving in one way or another. It might go forward, and it might go left, and it might go right. But the point is that they're not moving together, and the friction caused by horses pulling in different directions creates movement incredibly inefficient. So unification of the mind is when you have become aware of the background talk of all the different subminds, and you are no longer in control of 100% of your willpower because there's no friction caused by stray horses. Okay, that's the first part. The second part is the loss of self. By self, I mean the ego. Remember those subminds I was talking about just now? One of those subminds is called the narrating mind. And it's responsible for bringing into consciousness everything that's happening in all the subminds. This is incredibly useful because that helps us deal with day-to-day life. It helps us interact with our environment. The way the narrating mind conceptualizes this thing here with that chair over there is it creates a label. This label is called I. I. This is I. For you, this would be me. For you, this would be Martin. For you, your I would be you. And this becomes a problem when another submind called the discriminatory submind or the analytical submind interprets this label as who we actually are. So that submind, it reads the story that's spoken by the narrating submind and it identifies with who you are. And we end up then confusing ourselves for our emotions and our thoughts, when in actuality we are the awareness that observes these thoughts and emotions. There would be no I without you, without something that is outside of me, because the way I can actually form an idea of who I am is in relation to who I ain't. It's two sides of the same coin. If I existed in a vacuum with nothing else around me, I would not know that I am me because there's nothing for me to differentiate myself between. This is quite easy to understand intellectually, I believe, but once you understand it experientially, then the loss of self occurs, the loss of ego, and we stop fighting with what is at hand. I'm not sure if enlightenment is an event. Maybe it is, but at the moment this event occurs, you're 98% there anyway. The features of the mind that I'm talking about have been developed and been available to you. So enlightenment is simply what happens when you become good at being calm and focused. Well, you could sit on a cushion, you can close your eyes and you can chant a mantra, or you can mop the floor. As long as mopping the floor, you're doing it for the sake of mopping the floor and not because you're trying to get somewhere, like wanting to have a clean house. You just like mopping the floor, man. Yeah, the point is your attention is exclusive on that, on whatever you're being. So, if you want to try, meditate in the traditional way, something you could do is you could sit somewhere you're comfortable, close your eyes and start observing breath without trying to change it, without trying to identify with it. Just look at it. Very shortly you will realize that you are no longer doing what you set out to do. You're no longer observing the breath. You are caught up in what you have to do later this evening, what you have to do tomorrow. This is very normal, very normal. And the moment you realize you are now no longer following the breath, you should congratulate yourself. You should say, oh, well done me. I've just realized I'm no longer following the breath. And then you resume following the breath. That little process of positive affirmation is going to reward you for realizing you're no longer aware of the breath. And over time, you're going to develop a greater conscious potential, because you'll be able to follow your breath for longer, which means that this characteristic of being aware is going to percolate in the rest of your life as you're going about your business. Beware. A trap exists. A trap I've fallen into for many months. And it's quite easy to fall into it. The trap is no longer meditating because you enjoy it, but rather because you're trying to get somewhere. I've just outlined to you so many benefits of meditation. It sounds real cool, you know? Who doesn't want to be in a state of joy all the time, or be disattached from the suffering they experience? Yeah, let's do that. Let's meditate real hard. I'm thinking about something. No, stop thinking about that. I need to be meditating right now. I need to be calm. This is not a very conductive environment. So, rather, what you should be doing is, no matter how turbulent your mind is, you should observe it, not judgmentally. Let it be. And resume your attention on whatever you've chosen. In the example I used, it's the breath. There you go. You've done it. You're now meditating. With one hand, you're being aware of the present moment, non-judgmentally. With the other hand, you are maintaining a steady state of focus. Like I said, to me, enlightenment is being aware. To me, enlightenment is being good at being calm and focused. Thank you for watching my interpretation on meditation and enlightenment and all that good stuff. There is no right or wrong way to meditate, but I encourage you to pick up some kind of plan or structure so you get a little bit of aptitude with it before you go off exploring your own way. I do recommend The Mind Illuminated. However, it's quite comprehensive and it can be off-putting as a result of that. So there's plenty of resources out there. Seek and you shall find. If you enjoyed this video, send some love in the comments below, and I wish you peace.